morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Warzone 2100. And in case anybody's wondering, like yesterday, I just got bored and decided to live stream my regularly scheduled 9 AM GMT. The Long Dark will continue as planned, but I've got over 3.5 hours before I have to do that, so I might as well fill in the space with something. This is a continuation from yesterday's stream. What I'm going to do in a moment is click on continue last save, and we'll take it from there. And I'm trying to think what I was about to say next, and I haven't come up with anything, so I guess we'll just get on with it.
Mission timer activated. Construction
And
completed.
this is kind of interesting
Unit
in that
under attack.
this is
Construction
not
completed.
precisely where
Unit
I
under
ended
attack.
up at the end of yesterday's live stream. It obviously did an autosave somewhere in there, and I hadn't actually finished building, which is slightly interesting. So okay, we will finish off this process. It gives us an opportunity to maybe get things a little bit more right than yesterday. And in fact, I think I'm going to build another flamer tower in the middle there, so everything's nice and symmetrical. What did I need to do? I've got those in, I got those in. I need
Unit
to
under attack.
grab one of these, move it over
Unit
here,
under attack.
build another one, I think, and stick
Construction
it
completed.
with this one. Hopefully that's close enough. Yesterday I actually got things slightly wrong. I ended the game early by accidentally picking up I forget what they're called, one of the tech boxes that allows you to go up the technology tree. Let's send these back into the fight. Let's swoop around up here. Do I have a repair unit in there? Apparently not. Okay.
Production completed.
So send this back up.
Unit under attack.
Which means I need another one. I'm going to assign that repair unit here. Because like I say, in the next mission we're going to get the enemy coming up into this region, so these are probably going to be wanting some repair, and these will want repairing themselves. And actually, technically, I need yet another repair unit for this. Yeah, this is kind of odd, to be honest with you, and because I just ended the
Production completed.
because I just ended yesterday's mission, where I did, it didn't auto-save the end of the mission. Should have done a manual save, I guess,
Construction
rather than
completed.
just rely on the auto-saves. Okay,
Unit
so
under
actually
attack.
I think...
Unit under attack.
Where did that come from? Don't mind me.
Production completed.
Yeah, it doesn't have a companion. Let's go check, see what we have up here. That's all built, that's all... They're all waiting. Do we have... I still don't have a repair unit here. Oh, yes I do. Yes, I do. Right there. If they were to ever remake this... which I must admit I would like to see. You'd probably end up with these graphics being somewhat improved. But, you know, it's not too bad. I'm not just talking to myself, am I? I just suddenly realised I hadn't checked the microphone.
Unit under attack.
Okay, are we all ready
Unit
at
under
last?
attack.
Yes, yes. Oh, I know where that came from. Okay. Right, I think we're ready to go. Let's move this so that it can repair those. And let's go and wipe up the last part of this mission. So, make sure everything here is set to optimum range, retreat at medium damage, and fire at will. I don't know which one is specifically will, but I imagine will. I imagine they don't particularly care. Hang on a second. Oh, there it is. These do tend to get closer to the enemy than I'm entirely happy with. Good news is, as you just saw there, they do tend to self-repair, which is nice. So we have to be somewhat careful here. Yesterday, I kind of messed up this bit. And that's what happened yesterday. Now, the good news is,
objective accomplished.
and that's more or less where we were yesterday. Fine. Let's move on to Alpha Mission 2, where right now the situation is not ideal. It's okay, you know. I've got most of my units at the far end of the map, and I know in advance that I need to bring them down to the other end. But that's why we have the defenses at the far end of the map. Because otherwise things could get dicey. If you didn't do that, you could risk getting damage to your new base. So, here we go.
Congratulations, Commander, on
first thing we
securing
will
the
want to
first
do
zone in
is
your sector
get
and
our
recovering the artifacts. We have an additional
research
mission for you.
Underway.
This power surge was detected a few minutes ago by our HQ.
And this mission
Analysis of
starts to
pulse
ramp things
indicates a
up a
major
little bit
power
and give
source
you
to
some
the
hints
south of
about
our
how
position.
things might turn out later. Later, everything
Investigate
gets a
and
lot more
secure the
frantic and
area.
interesting.
Recover any artifacts in the vicinity. Scavenger base detected. Mission timer
So,
activated.
We need to head, as you can see from the map here, we need to head down this direction.
Unit
And
under
you can
attack.
see that we are now starting to get this situation going on. And that's what I was talking about. So we now need to bring everything back down to the other end. In fact, what we will do first is go and pick up the spare barrels. We don't really need to worry about those at this point. So we will start mustering these. You know what? Let's just shoot everything up. Be on the safe side. In a way, it's actually kind of good that I got so many damaged units on their way to be repaired. And I forgot to do that. Because they don't have very far to go to where I'm going to muster everything. And if I remember, I should do some building around here as well. So let's muster them here. These should all be repaired. They are. Stick those over here. And I must admit, I thought I had a truck. But we'll send this one up. Because I'm going to block this area off because of future developments. Because I'm pretty certain, if I recall, this area gets used as a landing zone for the enemy at some point. So having something to delay them in this region will only help. So, there we go.
Completed.
And our little unit there's frantically repairing what it can. So, now we just need to open up this area. And I must admit, I thought that we would start getting attacks from...
Unit
Yep.
under attack.
There we go. There's a second attack. Let's just move everything out the way, let the defences tackle things, and yeah, there's our minor problem. This is the entrance to the first base. So, and the reason I'm clearing this out the way, I actually thought we got and go over there, mate. I actually thought we had mobile units come in, but apparently not. And I'll get rid of this as well, just simply to open things up.
Major research completed.
I must admit, I thought I had more research than that to do. Doesn't matter. So we'll move these out of the way and start sending this lot in a rush up here. Everything seems to be still working around this region. All my machine guns are in one position. And we will set them to attack the bunkers. Doing well so far. And the fact that the repair unit here is still intact is helping me no end. And now we can start improving things. And maybe we can wipe out this base with a few remaining units as long as... Oh, I've got two of those there. Okay. Well, that's helpful.
Eradicated. Unit under attack.
And let's see if we can just take this out.
Scavenger outpost detected.
Yeah.
Unit
We're
under
going
attack.
to... Hold on.
Unit under attack.
Now, let's move you guys back. We'll
Unit
stick
under
them
attack.
there. This lot should be ready to rejoin. So we'll pop those in about there. And did I actually... Yes, so what we'll start doing is block off this method of access here. I think, yeah, that will do nicely. That'll put some delay in. We'll upgrade that later. Not today.
Construction completed.
Let's drop you down here. Did I? I'll have a couple more. Move these over. Now, something you've got to start considering is the next two missions.
Under attack.
This is the reason you put the defences in. If you hadn't gotten these units down here, this would be under attack. But fortunately, everything worked out in my favour. So I tell you what, I'm going to move that down. This is actually mostly repaired. Come here, you.
Research completed.
And, yep.
Unit
Get
under
the
attack.
improved flamer units in. Yeah, the only problem with this particular method of doing things that I've got going on for me here is that there's some attrition going on. But I think we got enough to proceed. So we'll see if we can't take this out.
Unit under attack. Unit under attack.
Yeah, this is a bit of a problem. I probably shouldn't have done that, but because anything retreating is going to come under fire.
Unit under attack.
This, but
Eradicated. Artifact
oops.
detected. Artifact
Pick up the artifact, go attack that. Go and start. Yeah, and then we're starting to get into the interesting stuff like radar. There's a bit of a problem over here that you can't necessarily see. And actually that is up on this hill. And again, this is the, yeah, we want to actually get that out of the way now. For that reason. Anything retreating, you see, is going to be going past that machine gun. And would have been going past this one. So getting those out of the way now is probably not a bad idea. And then we'll just pull them back to here. And while that's happening, I will dash up here and start putting in a few goodies. Okay, remember it's control, isn't it? Yeah, let's build that up.
Unit under attack.
Move you out the way so I can grab them up.
Unit under attack. Construction complete. Unit under attack. Major research completed.
Yeah. The radar becomes very useful later on when you get mortars.
Unit under attack.
One of the things we'll be doing is,
Unit under attack.
and as you can see, having a couple of these around profoundly useful things, it means this can stay in the fight for longer for obvious reasons.
Construction completed.
Say for obvious reasons,
Unit
yeah.
under attack.
They can just sit there basically while one of them
Unit under attack.
does nothing. Yeah. Come on guys, get into the game here.
Unit under attack. Major research completed.
Always update your research, we got those in, and now everything's getting fixed. Not sure I really have enough for the next part, but let's do it anyway. What we're going to do is head for the base that's over here and at least start to get rid of some of the defenses. And this is why I wanted to get rid of that specifically, because if you're up this hill and you're going past this machine gun post or this bunker, yeah, that's not a desirable position to be in, especially if some of your units are actually on fire, which when flamers are around does happen. You can quite easily have something that's retreating in good order and on fire, and then and we're doing tolerably well here. And in fact, we might have enough that's a problem. But you can see why I have these in. So that turned out to be very useful that I put those defenses in place, because they came from down here, where we have not been yet. So we'll just make our way up here, and I think what I'll do is grab up these. Yeah, you can see how badly damaged that was, because it encountered this other strike force that came up from a direction I had not dealt with. But we might actually be able to take this out with the forces that we've got. It's not optimal. Now I need to replace mine. So that's a fairly good start. Yeah, let's put you up here. So what have we got left? We have a base in this general region. In fact, it bizarrely shows you that bunker down there. I think that's a bunker. Those are all here, so we will need to join those up, unless I want to do something complicated, which I don't particularly wish to do. We need to start upgrading our machine guns. So let's go and sort that out. I won't need that anymore. Where's the delete? And we will create the... Oh, did I not... Oh, jumping the gun there.
Unit under attack.
Who's under attack? Oh, I know. These guys are... Oh, and oops, that is relatively bad, because these are now kind of isolated. So we'll have to bring those back into the fold, get them moving, hope the repair units can sort everything out. That was a mistake on my part.
Unit under attack.
So we were going to take the chance.
Major research completed.
And there we go, that's what I wanted. Now I can go back to, whoops, going off the edge of the map there. Now I can, oh, let's go quickly whip together our twin machine gun system, like this. So what we'll do is we'll replace all the single machine gun units with that. As they get damaged and retreat, we'll fix them up. Or I could just create a batch of new ones right now, and except they won't have the experience, so, you know, it's up. The other thing I've got to remember is I'm going to need at least one more of these at some point.
Major research
for not the next mission, the mission after. So, everything looking good there. In fact, what I might do, let's move you. And what are you doing up there? What I might do is send these in to get recycled and build. Let's do that. Actually, the other thing I'm going to do right now, while I think about it, is... Oh no, I can't. This area is not really secure yet. And then these two end up in the front where I don't want them, because then they'll be shot up. So now I'm just mentally debating with myself, do I want to create a new batch of twin machine guns, and you know what? I think I'm going to do that. So yeah, I'm going to need a bunch of these later anyhow. So let's go back up here, have a quick look, and whoops, see what this has got. Stick a machine gun. I think I've got a twin machine gun tower now. Yeah, so we can stick that there. So strictly speaking, I ought to upgrade all of these as well.
Production completed. Production completed.
And I'll start doing the same here.
Construction completed.
This region that I'm in, this particular location, I don't recall when or if it gets attacked, but having a general policy of upgrading everything you can lay your hands on isn't going to hurt. So get rid of that and upgrade it with
completed. Research completed.
machine gun tower. Here we go. Go check our research. Research all done.
Construction completed.
Don't think I really need... Oh, let's get this out of the way. No. Yeah, I want to get that out of the way. I'm going to need that later. But now we can go back and start considering taking apart...
Production completed. Unit
Oops,
under attack.
yes.
Production
The controls are a bit sweepy. So let's get them moving.
unit under attack.
I'm going to override this one and bring it forward. And this can come back as well, because they should all get repaired. Yep, here we go.
Production completed.
Right, where are we headed?
Production
We are
completed.
headed down over here. You could easily just tank rush everything. We will take these out because I don't want to have to worry about the buildings being in the way. Ooh, this reminds me a little bit of the first tank battle in history, which was it April 1918. British Whippet tanks ended up literally driving over a German brigade they found out in the open. Okay, let's get that out of the way. We've got to actually come around here. This position, actually, it would be kind of advantageous to do a strike around the side. Come at these from behind, possibly, except for the fact that when they retreat, they'll go straight this way, which will just put them under fire more, which we don't necessarily want. But we could probably take that out. And that. And you can see that's taking damage all the way away. And
Unit
yeah.
under attack.
So yeah, that one looks like it's about to be taken apart, to be honest. And it just survived. This is why I do retreat on medium damage. If you're on fire and retreating, yeah, you've got a good chance of blowing up anyway. This is the final base. Now this I want to be very, very careful, because I want some time to do some building. And if I pick up that last artifact, the mission will end and I won't have finished all the building I want to do. And I've still got 40 minutes left. So, what we're going to do is fix everything. Let's move them further back. Do we have a repair unit? We do. Good. So what we can do here is we can send the machine gun units in for recycling, so the next time I build something, their experience will get recycled. I keep forgetting. And that is a Flamer Viper wheels. Take you over there. I'm just trying to separate these out a bit so I can do a single sweep pickup like that. There we go. Oops. Excuse me. Stick those over here. I'm now a bit heavy on the flamers, so we are going to grab a few of these in. Start building them up. And then I will build 4 more, because they will then have the experience of the units I just recycled. Okay, so are we good? Yes, we are. Do we have... Oh, and I've lost a... That's okay.
Production completed.
That was a repair unit. Not too worried about those. They don't... Yeah. The repair turrets, I'm afraid, like the trucks, are expendable units because they don't pick up experience along the way. So what we're going to do is sneak around the hill here.
Production completed.
Let's take out that
Production
one.
completed.
This one. And then I've been surprised. Give everything a moment to be repaired. Send them back round. Like that bunker. And you can actually safely just sort of leave them there and they will just plunk away at everything. But you can see what I mean. I want to do some building here, so I've got to be very, very careful about what I shoot up and when I shoot it up and when I move. Good morning, j'ai pas d'idée. But I've got to be really, really careful that I don't pick up the artifact at this location. I do not wish to do that. Yeah, nope, don't want you up there. See, this is what I want to be very careful about. I don't want to pick that up. I really, really do not. Now, right now, we are actually in a pretty safe position. There's nothing building. I want to build this up as well. So what we're going to do is come round very carefully from this angle, take out that flamer tower, shoot up this, and just don't go pick that up, because I don't want the mission to end before I finish doing everything I want to do. So I can just leave them there and they will happily... There, that's it. No, go back. I don't want to pick up that unit. There you go. So this I can now work with. If I were to pick that up, it would be mission over and I won't be able to do any more building until... I think I'll get 10 minutes in the next... No. Oh, where are you going? Okay. So... But there is this rather obnoxious thing here, which is quite a heavy cannon. Bingo. Right. So now, come over here. Make sure they still stay well out the way. And now I've got half an hour to do some more building. When they say build to success, build to win, whatever it is. Okay, I can drag this back down here. This, I know it's been told to retreat on medium damage. If it got one more shot, it would retreat again, but you can sort of override that. So if I get that over here, it will be repaired. I don't really need them here because this region is essentially safe. But I've now got half an hour to relax and focus on doing everything else I need to do. Now, here's something you need to consider. First of all, oh, that's right, I lost a repair turret, didn't I? Get these fixed up, except for this one, which I will send in for recycling, so that I can upgrade. I'll take this opportunity to upgrade everything to dual machine gun Viper wheels. Where are they? Where did everybody go? Okay, they're over here. And I want to send that back for recycling. Again, as I said, right now, we are actually completely safe. I think. Pretty certain that's the case.
Production completed.
So, now, what was I doing? I was focusing on defenses over here. That's good. We will put in... You can't really... Actually, what can you fit in there? Yeah. So anything coming through this direction will be shot at from here, and here, and here. And I'll basically just block the whole thing off. Probably leave that in the middle to do repairs. Again, this will be a sacrificial unit. Because I think... I can't remember when it occurs, but when the attack comes from this direction, slowing any attack down is always a good idea, I find. So we'll stick that there. Oh, I might as well upgrade these. Actually, here's something I want to try. Can I just... No, I can't.
Construction completed.
I think by the time we get a major attack coming from various parts of the map, all this gets upgraded anyway. So you could simply not bother doing it. I'm just paranoid. And actually, I'm going to... Let's move you here. Yeah. I'm going to put a line... Yeah, let's just make this as awkward as possible for anything coming in. Right. Now we have to move very, very carefully. Where did I put my spare... Oh, there. So now, a few things we're going to do. We're going to bring that one over here. Because we're going to build up some defenses in this region. We're going to build up some defenses here. And sooner or later, we're going to have to go down that way. And so having defenses here is going to be useful. This actually, as I recall, gets quite a little nightmare. Rather fun, to be honest. So that should be traveling. And because we're going to start eventually putting in things like mortars, and if memory serves, the mortars are radar guided. So we're going to start putting radar towers in. And this is... And some of this is probably overkill, to be honest. But... You know, there is no such thing as overkill.
Production completed.
There is... Where's the target? An open fire. Ooh, that's not... I'm trying to remember... what was it? I can't remember the guy's name. 72 Habits of Highly Effective Mercenaries, I think it was called.
Construction completed.
Someday I'm going to have to pull up the list. So this is where you want to be so careful. You don't want this going over here, but we do want that. Because that is, I believe, our fourth nodding donkey.
Completed.
How is your cat, J'ai pas d'idée? So we want to go and start building a few bits and pieces up here. Because we're going to need them. And I'm going to need another truck. So let's build another truck. There is a limit to the number of trucks you build, but I can't remember what it is. And I need to get those flamer units fixed. Go over there, fix that. You can eventually put in actual repair bases.
Completed. Construction completed.
Where are we? So now you just got a lot to sort of kind of keep track of. So
Production completed.
I'm just putting the radar towers in now, sort of while I think about it. Yep. So again, don't want to go anywhere near that. And I'm going to put a radar tower about there. Memory serves at some point during this, I end up putting a repair base around about here. Because that's closer to the action. I don't want everything streaming off to the command HQ. And yeah, like I say, this area we're going to have to go down sooner or later. The map actually extends along and all the way up, and as I recall, at one point you pretty much end up fighting across the entire base. Yeah, the entire map, if I recall correctly. So we'll stick that over here. As I remember too, I end up putting mortars down here as well. So let's go grab another truck. Where's another truck? Oops, sorry. That is the downside. It is a bit swoopy up here. And
Construction completed.
I can't remember, to be honest, how long you stay in this base, or if you're continually in this base. I've been so long for some of this that I forget. Oh, right, there we go. You. I want you to come all the way down and start building up defenses across here. And yes, you can do it. So I literally want to fill in this gap as much as I can.
Construction completed.
So that I can put defenses behind it, because as I say, there's a road that leads off that way. And this is the thing about playing the game multiple times. You learn where everything's going to happen and make better decisions. Obviously you don't have to do that. I mean, it might be fun just to play it literally as it sits and don't do any of the construction, but I suspect that means the whole thing will come to a rather disastrous end. Uses the exhaust fans as a cooler. I'm not sure that's necessarily the best solution. So, the other thing I've got to bear in mind too is not the next mission, the mission after. The next mission's only 10 minutes long. But the mission after that you actually have to send 10 units away on an away mission, if you like. So I need to start thinking about that now. Now, makes life a little easier. The away missions are fun, which isn't to say they're not challenging. You have to be very careful because of limited resources and limited building capability. So let us back up this lot with, let's put a flamer tower in there. You could see the advantages of having these things at odd places on the map, because if anything retreats, you want them to go past with fixed defences if possible. Now, the enemy, as I recall, doesn't retreat, but nonetheless, having them hit from different angles will, if nothing else, divide their fire in principle.
Construction completed.
And again, gotta be so careful around here, because I do not want... Yeah, that's not a good place. Yeah, let's stick there. Please don't. Yeah, it's always nerve-wracking. Oh, that's a good idea. So now we can start building up our defences here. And this isn't perfect. Ideally, I'd like to block that off, but we can do that later. But you can just about see there's a hill there, there's a road there. This ideally should be forward a bit, but we can fix that.
Construction completed.
But right now, I want to make sure I get my... And the good thing is being able to queue up building in that fashion. And where were we? Yeah. And this gives me coverage over more of the map, which is obvious benefits. To be honest, I don't remember how many of these you actually need to be able to see the units or to get them targeted. So feel free to scatter them in. I'm going to stick one over here as well. And in fact, I will probably build another truck just for that purpose.
Construction completed.
If in doubt, build a truck. Let's move you back over there. Grab that, and we'll get it to build a radar tower top. This, because it's obviously a nice promontory.
Construction completed. Construction completed.
Long time ago, I used to own a
Production
grass snake,
completed.
and and I can't remember the precise circumstances, but it liked sitting under my father's Reuters machine, which would basically give stocks information. And it would actually sit under there because it was warm. My father said it was rather amusing. Apparently the snake would stick its head out when the phone rang. And I can't remember what on earth the snake was doing there in the first place, or how that became a habit.
Construction completed.
So, we're getting there. Now we'll just back up this lot. Got to bear in mind, at the beginning of the mission, there may be a delay in between you zooming over here, if you know what's coming up, and actually getting there, or getting units there. So your fixed defenses become very important, and I just have to remember that I've got to somehow fill in this gap over here. Right, so I've got that there, and that there. Now, I don't want to go anywhere near that region, because I will probably pick up that. And as I recall, that's a power upgrade. I don't want to do any building around there. I don't think I can get up. Don't think I can get up here, can I? Nope. Alright. So of course, one thing, wherever you have the radar, you can basically end up sticking your mortars in. I know we don't have mortars. Remember what I said? One of the
one of the
Construction
things you
completed.
get to do in this game is use your experience to go back, rerun, and then do things differently. And that does make a huge difference to the game. Makes a big difference between scrambling to recover and being relatively good condition. That's us in a relatively good condition.
Construction
I've still got
completed.
18 minutes. And like I say, I'm not going to mess around up here. However, you know what I might do? And this is for... yeah. And this is for later.
Construction completed.
I'm going to stick a factory up here. I think, yeah, let's take it around this direction. I think this is actually something I've done previously. Actually, we'll leave that until later because I don't trust its ability to get up there without picking up that artifact. Because what I've got to consider next is the fact that I will be sending off an away mission. And to optimize that, I need to assemble my troops. And for that away mission, I am going to require I can only send 10 units. Now, I can remember this particular mission. You basically have to go screaming down the valley, shoot something up, and you've got to be able to repair your units. Now, you're going to send repair units along with them. How many? Do you send one or do you send two? You send a truck so that where your landing zone is, you can build some defenses in place just in case. I think that's important. So what do I want? A truck, one repair unit or two, and then the rest as your assault troops, if you like. I forget if there is an ideal combination of those. Genuinely forget. Do I want to send the new ones off to get some experience? I suppose I do. You're going to end up having to send in rookies like these at some point anyway. That's experience, that isn't. So that's going to be the basis, if you like, of the assault units I send away. What do we do with these three? Well, we're going to bring those down here. Because if memory serves, there does become quite a fight over there. And where are my flamers? Anyone seen my flamer units? Oh, they're over here. Good. Notice they're all surviving, so I definitely will want a repair unit. And I'm running out of repair units, I can tell. Oh, another possibility, by the way, is I can stick... I can use this region to do things like put in, make it sort of like a secondary base, put in a research facility, put in a factory. If I put a factory in, I could use that for defense of the base just within this perimeter, or I could open a way out and do reinforcements through here. I'm not sure if that's necessarily the best thing, but it's a possibility. If I do my job right, so to speak, then, you know, possibly can't remember what I was going to say. You know, do I expand this, for example, and put factories in there so I can do local updates? Just for this region. Could do that. Don't recall that I need to, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. So we've got a nice little armoured box going in here. And we'll just... Oops. Didn't want to do that, did I? And now I've got a unit moving somewhere, which I don't want it to do. Got no idea where the unit moving in is. Oh well. Where was I? Yes, the strike unit that I'm going to be sending out. So, the flamers. Definitely want to take the flamers. So, that's 8. So do I send...
Completed.
Yeah. I don't know whether that's the minimum necessary or not, but I do remember that it's ideal to have a strike force down here, if memory serves me correctly. At least that way, when I get back, for example, I could go off on that away mission and end up with everything being destroyed. Well, most of them being destroyed, and I'm going to need to rebuild, so do it now. But again, I know there's an away mission coming up. Hey, you know what? One day, I might just go through these same missions and just do the absolute minimum just to show you what happens. You know, finish everything off as quickly as possible. Speed run it essentially, without doing all the extra building steps. That actually might be kind of fun. I got a question for you, J'ai pas d'idée. What does Me Pamoa mean in colloquial French? I assume that's colloquial French. And I'm going to have to build some new flamer units because, like I say, there's a very good chance I'm going to lose some on the away mission. That's certain to happen. So, I've got 8 of those. I'm going to need at least one of those, and I'm very tempted to send up a truck to defend the area you land in. So we'll stick this over here. And as you can see, I'm running out of it's so easy to run out of trucks. Because you kind of end up wanting them all over the place. You know, I had a truck over here and it's not there anymore. And as I said, there is a limit to the number of trucks you can build. I can't remember what it is. So.
Production completed.
Oh, right. I'm trying to remember if I got that. Oh, yes, okay, I see it. I actually kind of figured out the May part, obviously, because that's French for. But yeah. Just illustrates the difference between the French you learn in British schools and how the French actually speak it. So there's our little defensive box coming together here. What time? How much time have I got left?
Remaining.
10 minutes remaining. Yeah. So anything coming along here, as I think it does, is going to be a bit delayed.
Completed.
It's going to be very interesting to see if everything I remember actually works out.
Construction completed.
Stick our twin machine guns in there. Oh, actually, one thing more I do want to do is I am going to build... Do you know what? Let's make this a proper armoured box. I got time.
Construction completed.
Come here. Be clicked on. So, yeah. Take down these and we'll... finish putting in the tank traps. Anything that delays the attack that is to come. It's always a useful thing. Okay, so almost done, and then we'll be done with, and
Construction complete.
I can start thinking about... No, I've got loads of time. I could probably spend another hour or so on this. What am I doing? Oh, yes. Of course, the one thing I haven't done here is build in a radar tower, and I probably should have put one in the middle here. I don't remember if that's really necessary. I'm not going to bother. Although it has, sticking a bunch of mortars around here does have an attractive sort of idea. You know what? Let's just do that, just in case I'm right. And let's build a radar tower in here. So this is going to be basically sacrificial. I can't remember if the mortars have the range to go from there to over there, but it couldn't hurt. So all I have to do is pick up that artifact, and then we're on to the next part, which is the Alpha Mission 3. And I will do that in presumably one session. Because, and the Alpha Mission 3 is, I guarantee I'll have to run the second mission for the Alpha missions. I think it's 2 parts. The second part, yeah, I'm probably going to get blown up a lot. Because it's, I won't say it's, there probably was a time I wouldn't have had any problem with it, but I'm out of practice. Excuse me.
Construction completed.
Yeah, come on, build. There we go. And I just accidentally sent something up, didn't I? Alright, so let's review briefly. Oh, yes, I know, I forgot something. And you can start to see how big the battlefield can be. If something's happening way up the top there, or way over to the left, sorry, to the right, you're going to be zooming around quite a bit, and you're going to have to leave things pretty much to operate automatically while you go and put out fires, sometimes literally. Ah, that's right, I want some flamer units, don't I, to come down here. And I've got 5 minutes, so I can start building the flamers now, move them in during the next mission.
5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, that's alright. So I'll grab a few more flamer units. They will build. And what I'm going to do now, and look and see, the stored experience is profoundly useful there. And we are going to go pick up. In fact, I will now take the opportunity to build a factory here. And hopefully I got time. Yep, I do.
Production completed.
Nothing wrong with running down the timer to the last minute. I'm sure experienced players are going to have something to say about how I'm doing this, but move the muster point to there. They've actually got 2 ways. They can go out that way or that way.
Production completed.
Like I say, I'm largely operating on 20-year-old
Production
experience.
completed.
So,
completed.
We are now just going to finish the mission and pick that up.
Our objective accomplished.
And there we go. That's the end of Alpha Mission 2. What we got coming up is Alpha Mission... There's 2 Alpha Missions. Alpha Mission 3 Part 1, Alpha Mission 3 Part 2. The first one is 10 minutes. And then the second one takes a while longer. I think that's half an hour. And so, we will resume this. Actually, to be honest with you, I don't know when we will resume this. Maybe if I'm bored. I can't do it tomorrow. I just realised now because I'm off to Manchester tomorrow. So I might do it. It depends, actually. But if you're subscribed, and I know Jeopardy is, so I don't need to tell them. But if you'll watch this and you're not subscribed and you want to find out what happens next, well, subscribe and click the notification button and leave a like, and you know, I'm slowly building this channel. Last I checked, I had 163 subscribers. That's not too bad, is it? I've only been doing this since last October. I might make 200 by the end of the year. Well, by the time I've been doing it for a year, but I'm rambling. I will now leave you all to get on with your day. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you all next time.